to be back.
Hang on, wait a minute. I thought we took the key away from him. How did he get back? How did he get the key again?
I found a hole.
Alright, I'm not gonna go there. So, welcome back to the Dave Decay Show. I'm Dave Decay.
I'm his brother Doug.
And I'm Spookarella.
And tonight we are actually reviewing the sequel to The Invisible Man. Now, this actually came out pretty quick, as in Universal sequels do. It usually takes 3 or 4 years, it seems like, in order for them to get a sequel. But this came out only right after The Son of Frankenstein.
This is Invisible Man? We're doing the Invisible Man again?
He's back, baby!
Yeah, and he's more invisible than ever.
Well, same amount, really.
Yeah. You guys look dry. I think you guys need a drink.
Hang on now. Yeah, this ain't gonna be some kind of weird formula that you gave us last time, right?
I made it a little more fruity this time.
Top me off, my man. I'm plumb dry.
I don't know. Kind of looks sort of the same.
Bottoms up.
Here we go. Uh-oh, I don't know. I feel a little lightheaded again.
Dale! Dale!
Hey, are you okay?
Daylight come and me want go home.
That's pretty good. I didn't expect that to happen.
Dale! We say Dale, we say Dale, we say Dale, we say Dale, we say Dale.
Alright, so The Invisible Man returns. Now, this was an interesting film for the fact that the main actor obviously couldn't come back because of what happened to him in the last one. Who could they possibly get to fill the shoes of Claude Rains except for Vincent Price?
Daylight come and me want go home.
Vincent Price.
Yes, this is a very young Vincent Price. And it was kind of weird because he didn't really sound like Vincent Price. He didn't have that Vincent Price voice, except for when he kind of started whispering a little bit. Then it sounded like Vincent Price. But this was a very, very young Vincent Price that played the Invisible Man. And again, a lot of the softcore casual people out there probably doesn't realize that Vincent Price played the Invisible Man at one point.
Work all night and a drink of rum. Daylight come and one go home.
Ooh, okay. Well, I have to say I hadn't seen this movie in quite some time. But it was funny because I was sitting there watching it and thinking, man, I've seen this before.
The story here is kind of cool, actually. It is about a guy who was falsely accused of murdering somebody and was put in jail, who happens to have a friend who is the brother of the original Invisible Man. So he created the Invisible Man's formula and gave it to the guy in prison so he could take it and escape to try to prove his innocence.
Stop banana till the morning come. Daylight come and we want go home.
But so he was trying to actually not be a killer that was not trying to be a killer while he killed.
Yeah, and that was a really great idea for a story because he wasn't the killer, originally, but because he had turned invisible, he started going mad. And he basically started becoming the killer that he wasn't before. He was innocent, then he was a killer, because now he's invisible.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want go home.
I think she needs another drink.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want go home.
Alright, so now the inspector in this, I don't really remember. Maybe you have a better memory than I do, Dave Decay. Doug Decay. See, I don't remember who you are. Because, I've been in the graveyard quite a long time, and then when you get that graveyard dirt in your ears, you kind of forget things.
They had to dug me up.
So, the inspector that's in this movie, was that the same inspector that was in the first one?
I believe it was. I don't really remember because of all that dirt.
What about it, Spookarella? Was it the same guy?
Me say day, oh. Daylight come and me want go. Oh, day. Me say day, me say day, me say day.
No, I think I agree with her. I think it was the same guy.
You got that out of that?
Because he was smoking a cigar through the whole movie, which was a really, again, kind of a really cool thing, because he could blow the smoke, and if the Invisible Man was in front of him, he could see him, so anywhere he went, he was always had this cigar and blowing smoke, so he could see what was around him, and that was a really, really great idea.
I on occasion like a good cigar, and he was handing them out left and right.
And this one actually had a good amount of comedy, kind of like the first one, where the comedy comes from, of course, the guy being invisible, and there was an old guy there, and he had the new Invisible Man and his girlfriend up in the house, and it was a pretty funny sequence. I mean, there's a lot of pretty comical scenes in this movie.
I just wondered, does somebody, when I'm not here, does somebody else sit in this seat?
I don't know, do they, Spookerella?
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me want go home.
There you go, there's your answer.
Okay.
So, Doug Decay, what did you think of this movie?
Actually, I hadn't seen this movie in quite some time, and like I said, you know, when I saw it, I was like, you know, I remember some of this. And actually, I remembered more of this movie than I did the original one, for some odd, strange reason. But I have to say, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a decent sequel to The Invisible Man. I liked the story to it.
Yeah, and now you think about this, I think we're like 9 or 10 movies into these Universal films, and they've all been really good, solid movies. There hasn't been that many really bad films, except for which one, Spookerella?
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me want go home.
Beetlejuice?
No, she was saying the Werewolf of London.
Oh.
She's talking about plants. Remember the plant movie?
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
I don't know, it's just a really good film. Overall, it's a really great film. Now, I would give this film a...
You know, I would actually have to give it also. I did enjoy the film quite a bit.
What about you, Spookerella?
It's 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me want go home.
And if you haven't watched any of these films, I mean, this is the whole reason we're doing Horror Month this year, is to bring these to you, and you may not even known there was a sequel to Invisible Man. Not just this one, but there's 2 or 3 more, I believe, in this series.
Much like the Frankenstein films, and more and more like the other films, like in Dracula. Why is my voice changing?
I was wondering that myself. I think maybe you drank too much.
Oh, this is weird.
All month long, Dave and Becky are doing live streaming for video games. So they're doing 31 straight days of video gaming, all horror games, all month long. And that's later tonight. I don't know what time they're doing it, but it'll be tonight at some point. So make sure you tune in for that.
Where did I get this hat from?
Alright, so that's it. That's The Invisible Man Returns. Hopefully you guys return for Horror Month, because we're doing this all month long. Ghouls and Ghoulettes, 31 straight days of all classic Universal horror films.
Damn! Daylight come and me want go home.
Speaking of going home, goodbye, Dave. Speaking of going home, Doug Decay.
I'm going. I gotta fix this.
Can somebody show him out? I mean, Wolfman, can you show him out?